Please.
Paul Lynde, not watching the board,
Oh.
Kathy. I'd have gone to Tina Turner to block, but this may work out. According to the author of Aesop's Fables, what is a greater blessing in life than having many children?
I'll say having many sports shirts.
Greater,
What is sort of sporty, isn't it?
what is a greater blessing in life than having many children?
Greater blessing in life than having many children. I would say having a great provider for those children.
Kathy?
I'll disagree.
No, having a few good ones. That does make sense. Right. Okay, you've got the block. Amelia. Paul, it's recorded. It is recorded that in ancient Athens, people relied mainly on one famous person for teaching sex education. What was he called?
What was that masked man?
Ancient Athens.
I didn't get his name. I wanted to thank you.
Sorry. I'm sorry I stepped on that. Excuse me, Paul.
That's all right.
Excuse me.
I'm floundering.
Yeah. Well, it's recorded that in ancient Athens, people relied mainly on one famous person for teaching sex education. Who was it?
One famous person.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sex education. Not to mythology.
No, ancient Athens.
Ancient Athens. Oh, boy. Ask a Greek.
Amelia, not Greek, are you? Do you want this question?
No.
All right. It was Aristotle, Paul. Aristotle. Back to a Paul Lynde question. According to surveys in the Daily Breeze, what is the most common topic of gossip among young women? Do you understand the question? What is the most common topic of gossip among young women?
Well, last week it was the rumor about Wilt Chamberlain and Olga Korbut.
What is the most common topic of gossip among young women?
Who the other one's going with?
Who the other one's going with?
I disagree.
Pregnancy. Let's put an X there. Kathy, it's your turn. Say, Paul, true or false, New York City produces about 25 tons of waste material every single day. New York City.
You hear that, dog lovers? How many tons?
25 tons?
Oh, easily.
Easily. Kathy?
It sounds disgusting enough to be true.
It is disgusting enough to be true. Yeah, you've got the circle. Amelia, your turn. Luck, pick a star.
Thank you. Since my name is Paula, I've got to go with Paul Lynde.
All right. Paul, was Snow White a blonde or a brunette? Snow White, was she a blonde or a brunette?
Only Walt Disney knew for sure. I remember her very, very brunette.
Brunette.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely. Good start. Okay, Sam, your turn.
Lynn.
All righty. Paul, for $500. True or false? They use cow's horns to make ice cream.
You mean those weren't chocolate chips? Boy, I tell you. There's so much preservatives in ice cream. You know, you cannot melt ice cream with water running on it. There's that many. I would say probably true.
I agree.
Gelatin is made from the horns, which is then used to make the ice cream. $500. Sam D'Angelo. Congratulations.
And
For $500 in the tie game, true or false, every day, about 10 million American women take the pill.
And I can name them all.
I love it.
I can't stay
But do 10 million American women take that pill?
Yes.
Yes, oh yes.
And you know something? 50 million worldwide. We have a tie game. That's good. Circle gets the square. True or false? Research indicates that Christopher Columbus liked to wear bloomers and long stockings.
Well, it's not easy to sign a crew up for 6 months.
Did old Chris like to wear bloomers? And...
Yes, he always had them on when I saw his picture.
Paula?
Yes, I agree.
Sure, a lot of guys did then. All right, with the circles.
Paul Lynde, please.
When little Frank Sinatra was brought into the world on December 12th, 1915, the doctor couldn't help noticing that there was something unusual about the new baby. What was it?
He did it his way.
There was something unusual about Frank Sinatra when he was born. What was it?
Junior,
No, the senior.
something unusual.
Obviously, Paul doesn't
I
have a
have
bluff
no
for this.
idea.
Would you like the question, Miriam?
I don't know.
Yes, he was quite large. He weighed 13.5 pounds, to be exact. We'll go back to a Paul Lynde question right now, so listen carefully. True or false? A man once pulled 2 railroad cars weighing 80 tons by his teeth.
He's now in the Red Cap Hall of Fame.
Has a man ever pulled 2 railroad cars weighing 80 tons by his teeth?
Well, if, once you get them rolling, you better move. I think yes.
I'll agree.
Yes, we have a commercial. Put a circle right there. We'll be back. Sonny Bono sadly admitted recently that although he's been looking, he'll never find another what?
Job. No, he has a fantastic sense of humor, I hope.
No, he does. He'll never find another what?
Well, I tell you, I read the article in Time, and it was most flattering what he said of Cher. I would say another Cher.
I agree.
Right. 2 X's. Okay, Miriam, your turn.
You're welcome.
2 squared. All right, Dave, you'll start this game. Pick a star.
Paul Lynde.
Paul, according to Rona Barrett, Cher says that when she's 80, hers will be down to her hips. Her what?
Her halter tops.
When Cher is 80, hers will be down to her hips. Her what?
Cher is 80. Well, I'll go. She loves long hair, obviously.
Hair.
I'll agree.
Right. Yeah, you got the X. Okay, Sarah.
George Gobel.
Sarah, you start this game, dear. Pick a star.
Oh, Paul Lynde.
Say, Paul, Gerald Ford says the truth is the glue that holds governments together. What does he say is the oil that makes governments go?
Whatever they fried tacos in. No,
Truth is the glue that holds governments together. What does he say is the oil that makes governments go?
Truth. Oil. Truth keeps them together. And
Yeah, what makes governments go?
Well, dishonesty.
Dishonesty. Sarah?
No, I disagree.
No, compromise. With a circle, Dave, your turn.
Well, that's...
I think I'll go with Paul Lynde.
All right, for $250, true or false? There is a new birth control dog food on the market.
Yes, it's good for girls on a budget.
A new birth control dog food on the market, true or false?
Boy, that would be great if it were true. I would stop the overpopulation of the dogs, too. I'll say true.
I agree.
That's a good thing. That's true. And circle gets the square. Oh, look. Paul, for $500, from what animal do you get your silk blouses? From what animal do you get your silk blouses?
An animal to you, Peter, but kind and generous to me.
What animal do you get?
Yeah. In other words, where do we get silk from?
Oh, from silkworms.
From silkworms.
I agree.
Yeah, caterpillars. They're called silkworms, right? But they are little caterpillars. All righty, you've got yourself $500. Paul, you have a bunch of unwanted hair. According to Dr. Thusterson, what is most often the cause of unwanted hair? A bunch of it.
Running over a llama.
I have a lot of unwanted hair. What's usually the cause of it?
The most often cause, yeah.
I would say hormones.
Hormones.
I'll agree.
No. Heredity? Wouldn't hormones be? No, we can't. No. All right. Can't put a circle there, Lindy. You'll have to earn that yourself.
Tina Turner.
Paul, Lawrence Welk says that as a teenager, he promised his father he'd work hard on their farm for 4 years if his daddy would loan him the money to buy something few boys ever get. What?
Oh, a champagne lady.
He promised his daddy he'd work hard if his dad would loan him the money to buy something.
That few boys get.
Yeah.
I would say an accordion.
An accordion.
I'll agree.
That's how it all started. His first real accordion. What's the next? Okay, Linda. Go right ahead, dear. Pick a star.
Oh, I'll take handsome Paul Lynde.
Handsome Paul for $250. Your date has had a great shock and then fainted. According to experts, you should loosen her clothing and then do one other thing. What? Do you understand the question?
Yes.
Your date's had a great shock. Now, she's fainted. According to experts, you should loosen her clothing and then do one other thing. What?
Send a postcard requesting an ambulance.
You don't get along with this young lady, obviously. No, now she's fainted. Now you've loosened the clothing. Now what do? She's fainted from shock. I guess it could be a guy, too. Whatever happens, man or woman, they faint, shock, loosen clothing, and then...
See, you don't do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation fainting. I would call a doctor.
Just call a doctor. Don't do anything else. Call a doctor.
I disagree.
No, you raise the legs. Keep them elevated. And we have $250 for Rebecca Rounds. Who determines the sex of a child? Who determines the sex of a child? The father or the mother?
I say let the child make up its own mind.
I do too.
Who determines? I think the mother's genes.
The mother.
I disagree.
The father, for he has chromosomes for both boys and girls. Yeah, put a circle there. Bill, it's your turn.
Yes, Robert.
Paul, your rooster has been fixed so that he no longer has romantic interest in hens. What is the proper word for him now?
Suicidal.
You've got a fixed rooster.
Yeah.
What is the proper word for a rooster that has been altered?
Capon.
Capon.
I agree.
As those capons go rolling along. Yeah, with it, circle down and keep it. Paul, true or false, there's a town in Italy where all the people who live there are bald.
How in the world can you tell the men from the women? They're all bald?
Yeah, there's a town in Italy where all the people who live there are bald. True or false?
It's so absurd. It's either I don't know, it wasn't some kind of punishment. Bald. Oh, true.
True.
I agree.
It's the town of Azzone. Azzone, I guess. We have a commercial. You got it next there. We'll be back. Paul, you're going around with a girl who wants to know all about your past romantic experiences. According to Playboy, should you tell her about them?
I don't think I'll tell her about the Indian guide. Or the Thousand Island dressing. Should you tell her?
About your past experiences, romantic experiences.
If she hasn't asked,
Even if she asks, is it...
I don't think it's, I wouldn't.
He said, no, you shouldn't.
I disagree.
You shouldn't. Those are your business, those are your business alone? Is that right? Is that our business?
Yes.
It is our business. Put a circle there. Dairy break for you. We find the tie-breaking question. I've got it here somewhere. Here it is. All right, for the tie and the car. The tie-breaker and the car. Was the opera Rigoletto composed by Verdi, Puccini, or Rossini? I'll repeat the question. Was the opera Rigoletto composed by Verdi, Puccini, or Rossini?
I know it's not Puccini, it's either Rossini or Verdi.
We have Verdi or Rossini, if you say it's not Puccini.
Rossini.
Rossini,
I agree.
Verdi. X gets the square. Congrats. Circles all over the place. You can really gamble here now.
Paul Lynde.
Paul, according to the book, What Every Patient Wants to Know, are there exercises you can do to prevent your bosoms from sagging? Exercises.
Yes, but it requires pierced ears and some kite string.
What are we going to do with you, Paul? Are there exercises you can do to prevent your bosoms from sagging, yes or no?
You know, we've had so many questions on the bosom about what changing or can't. I don't think you can change it much, but I think you can do this.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
No, you can't.
Oh.
No, you can't. You can develop, I think, the pectoral, but that's another show in itself. I'll put it next there. Dave, it's your turn.
Sure.
Paul, originally Mac before your name meant son of. Son of. What did O before your name mean?
Is that O or O?
No, that's O. Mac meant son of. O meant?
And Mac is Scottish. O, I would say in America it would be the same. Son
The same, son of.
I agree.
No, grandson of.
Oh.
Yeah, put a circle there. Okay, Suzanne. Paul, true or false? It only takes a good chicken plucking machine 14 seconds to strip a chicken bare.
Oh. I used to do that. Yes. Yeah, you can.
I agree.
That is true. Yup, you got an X there. All right, Suzanne, your turn. Go right ahead. Thank you.
Paul Lynde.
Paul, true or false? According to the Bible, you, Paul Lynde, you are a sinner.
As long as they spelled my name right.
But according to the Bible, are you a sinner?
Yes.
I agree.
We're all sinners. Yes, for all have sinned. Romans 3:23. You've got the X. Bertha, your turn, dear. All righty, for a tie game, history tells us that Paul Revere only had 35 cents in his pocket when he made the famous ride. What was he planning to use it for?
Well, in those days, a Milky Way and a woman.
35 cents. That's all he had in his pocket. He was planning to use that 35 cents for something. What?
Probably 35. Probably a little snack. I mean,
Something to eat. Bertha?
I'll agree.
When he got to Lexington, he wanted to have dinner.
30.
He could have had an 8-course one, but that's sure. We have a tie game.
Paul Lynde.
Say, Paul, according to experts at the Indianapolis Star, is it a good idea for mailmen who are often bothered by dogs is to keep something with them while they do their job? Keep what with them?
Cocker Spaniel and heat.
Mailmen are being bothered by dogs. Now, they should keep something with them while they do their job. Keep what with them?
Well, I know they're allowed to carry mace, which, you know, you can wash out of a dog's eyes or if it harms it. It probably isn't the answer, but I would say mace.
Mace.
Disagree.
You know what it is? Dog biscuits. Hey, that does make sense. Dog biscuits. Why not? Okay, Bertha.
George,
True or false, Paul? There is a company that will rent you a nude bartender for your party.
Set 'em up, Joe.
I've got the routine.
Yes, there definitely is.
I agree.
Yep, that's true. You've got the X. Kay Ingram, your turn, dear.
Paul Lynde.
Paul, true or false? Zsa Zsa Gabor is a deputy sheriff in Chicago.
What a pity she couldn't make it in show business.
Is Zsa Zsa a deputy sheriff in Chicago?
I'm a deputy sheriff in several towns. They make you honorary ones, I believe, yes.
I'll agree.
Yeah, by the Cook County Sheriff. Yeah, you've got it with an X. All right, Kay, your turn. Paul, what is America's principal big game animal? Let me repeat the question. What is America's principal big game animal?
Big game.
Big game animal.
I would say, I don't think you're allowed to kill moose. That's the big game. I don't, I don't shoot, so I have no idea.
I'll offer the question to Kay.
No, thank you.
The deer. Yeah, this is according to the World Book. Back to a Paul Lynde question. Liberace, he's a lovely guy. He really is a terrific person, great entertainer. He has a new book out, Liberace has, called The Things I...
Oh, put in my hair.
Liberace's new book is called The Things I...
Things I... The things I do for you.
The Things I Do for You, Kay?
I disagree.
The Things I Love. It's a book of photos of his art treasures. You've got the circle, and Steve, it's your turn. Say, Paul, when is it a good idea to put your pantyhose in the microwave oven for about 2 minutes?
When your house is surrounded by the police.
But when is it a good idea to put your pantyhose in the microwave oven for about 2 minutes?
I would imagine when they're wet.
When they're wet.
I agree.
You know, if you do it for about 2 minutes, it's a good way to dry them after they've been washed. Sure, you've got the circle, and that is your turn. All right. Not the secret square, but a tie game, $250. What was it that made nice Mr. Jekyll turn into the mean Mr. Hyde?
Tweed pajama bottoms.
What was it that made nice Mr. Jekyll turn into that old mean Mr. Hyde?
Well, a potion that he concocted.
I
He
agree.
drinks it.
That's exactly right. You've got yourself $250. We had a commercial. Who was that?
Paul Lynde?
Do we know, Paul, do we know of anyone who ate over 1,200 baked beans in a half hour?
That may explain what happened to Amelia Earhart.
Do we know of anyone, yes or no, who ate over 1,200 baked beans in a half hour?
Oh, sure.
I'll agree.
Oh, sure, yes. You've got the circle. Carl, secret square, Carl Davis. You want Paul? All right. Paul, in the Bible, King David asked beautiful and wise Abigail to do something after her first husband died. What?
Get him out of the room.
King David asked beautiful and wise Abigail to do something after her first husband died. What?
To marry him.
To marry him.
agree.
Right, and she did. With the next, Signey. There will be a film out in the future, Paul, called The Greatest. The Greatest. Who is it about?
About someone the greatest or the...
No, there will be a film.
Out soon.
Well, what time is it now? In the future. It will be called The Greatest. We want to know who it's about.
Oh. Merle Oberon or King Kong. I'll say that's the publicity they're using. I'll say King Kong.
King Kong.
I disagree.
That's already out. What is it?
Oh, it is.
Muhammad Ali, based on the biography of the same name, The Greatest. Yeah, Muhammad Ali with a circle. In fact, ready for the car, clear the board. And Carl, pick a star.
Paul Lynde.
Paul, when asked to explain something, Albert Einstein said, be with a nice girl for 2 hours and it seems like a minute. Sit on a hot stove for a minute and it seems like 2 hours. What was he trying to explain?
Why he bought a tube of Ungantine for his secretary.
Einstein trying to explain something. Be with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seems like a minute. Sit on a hot stove for a minute, seems like 2 hours. He was trying to explain what?
When something is pleasant,
What something is pleasant.
I disagree. It's relativity.
Yeah, his theory of relativity. Good for you. And we got an X there. And now we're going to add up this.
Paul Lynde.
True or false, Paul? The traditional champagne glass is modeled after Maria Antoinette's bosom.
And we have Karen to thank for the shot glass.
Is that true or false? Marie Antoinette's bosom.
Right.
A champagne glass model.
Well, champagne's French. That's. I would say that could be a possibility. Yes.
Says yes, true.
I agree.
That is true. All righty, with a circle. Jerry, your turn. Paul, you've got a secret. According to psychologists, if you're average, will you probably tell it to a man or to a woman?
If I tell it to a man, he might hit me. Let's see. Secret. I think I've always told my secrets to women.
Women.
I agree.
Do you know that women are confided in more than men? Yeah, that is true. All right, with the next. Paul, true or false? Many of our highways and railroads were built directly on the trails left by the bison.
So that's why the roads are so bumpy. They would probably go the most direct route. Yeah, I think there would be a...
That's true.
I'll agree.
Absolutely true. Right. Second, Malcolm.
Paul Lynde.
All righty. Paul, has a court ever awarded a woman $500,000 because her husband was no longer able to keep her romantically satisfied?
All the jury had to see was Exhibit A.
But has a court ever awarded a woman $500,000 because her husband was no longer able to keep her romantically satisfied? Yes or no?
Yes.
I agree.
It happened recently here, and where else? California. Okay, with the next, Beverly. Paul, true or false? There are no cemeteries in Miami Beach.
Now they just seal up the door of your condominium. And if you're rich, they'll leave a maid in there with you.
And then what happened?
You know, I've been in Miami Beach many times, and that's true. I've never seen a...
He said there are no cemeteries in Miami Beach.
I'll agree.
There are no cemeteries in Miami Beach. For the circle. Okay, Malcolm?
I was right. Paul Lynde, please.
Paul, true or false? In an experiment, a scientist has made one monkey smile over 300,000 times.
And not once did he have to say, I love you.
A scientist has made one monkey smile over 300,000 times. True or false?
300,000. Oh, that's just smiling all the time. I'll say true.
I'll agree.
I think they were reruns of the Gong Show. Yeah. Okay, let's put an extra. Denise, your turn. Hershberger, take a star.
Yeah, I'd like to start with Paul Lynde, please.
That's the secret square with Paul Lynde. That's been, I don't think Paul's been a secret square for a long, long time. $2,400, Paul. The famous song, The Man That Got Away, was heard in the classic film, The Man That Got Away. Was it from The Man Who Knew Too Much, A Star Is Born, or The Man That Got Away?
A Star Is Born.
A Star Is Born.
I disagree.
Yeah, 1954, starring Judy Garland. Yeah, Harold Arlen, I believe, wrote it. And let's put a circle there. We'll have another secret square game after this one. The author of To Kill a Mockingbird, I think, yes, Harper Lee is a woman. But now it's MJ's turn.
Okay, Paul Lynde, please.
There's a plaque on the moon left there during man's first landing. It's signed by 4 men. 4. Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, Edward Aldrin, and who else?
Randolph Scott.
A plaque signed by 4 men. Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, Edwin Aldrin, and who else?
Oh, I'm going to show my stupidity, so I won't. I have no idea.
Oh, would you like to question him, Jay?
No, I'll pass on that.
Richard Nixon. Back to the Paul Lynde question. According to experts in the Arkansas Gazette, what is the main cause of nail biting?
What else goes good with goat's milk?
The main cause of nail biting?
Nerves.
Nerves.
I agree.
Yeah, tension, anxieties. All right, with another X. Denise, your turn, dear. Pick a star. You said it right on the buzzer. Did he say it right on the buzzer? It's worth $50 for MJ or maybe $50 for Denise. Paul, in what literary classic will you read about a sad, middle-aged man named Leopold Bloom?
Uncle Tom's Condominium. Let's see.
A sad, middle-aged man named Leopold Bloom. A literary classic.
The Pawnbroker.
The Pawnbroker.
I disagree.
By James Joyce? Ulysses. Yep, he knew it. You got your X. Now we're going to add up the scores. It's been a...
All right, I'll take Paul Lynde to win.
For $250, true or false, a giant tortoise at a Seattle Zoo... Are you ready for that? Would you come here, Harry? Harry, come here. Harry, come up here. Harry Friedman, get up here. Harry, save me. Save me, Harry. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, Harry, now. I want you to meet... a Seattle Jew right here. Harry Friedman. One of our writers. And it's so good. Now get out of here. I don't need you anymore. Anyway. I pumped my mic on that.
Yeah.
How many? I've been on 11 years, and that's maybe the best one I've done. This will be in the outtakes, and this will be in outtakes in Las Vegas, friends. All right. A giant tortoise is at a Seattle Zoo. Recently slipped while mating. Broke its leg and is now strapped to a skateboard so it can make it around the zoo. Make it around. Is that true or false?
The same thing happened to Grandpa Walton. So I would say that's probably true.
Tortoise. I agree.
You bought a tortoise to a skateboard? He said that it's true. Yeah, a circle gets the square. Paul, listen carefully. Stand up straight. Raise your knee as high as possible. Then grab the leg and pull it against your body. Now do it to the other leg. According to the LA Herald Examiner, what's that supposed to help?
Loneliness.
Stand up straight. Raise your knee as high as possible. Grab the leg, pull it against the body. Now do it to the other leg. What is that supposed to help?
Well, it would certainly help, and probably it isn't the right answer, but it would certainly speed up your circulation.
Circulation.
I agree.
That's exactly what it does. Very good. You've got the X, and Gwen, it's your turn. Paul, according to the famous story, who did Narcissus eventually fall in love with?
Well, for a while he was married to Carol Lawrence.
If you're watching, Bob. But who did Narcissus eventually fall in love with?
Oh, well, himself.
Himself.
Naturally.
I agree.
Of course, yeah. You've got the circle. Carl, your turn. According to UPI, America's young couples are moving toward the decision to quit after 2. To what?
2 times. No, if I were...
Could you explain that a little more?
Oh, I guess it is nighttime.
But according to UPI,
yes,
America's young couples
yes.
are moving toward the decision to quit after
Yeah,
2.
if there's any movement that I would be for, which I think is causing all our miseries today, is over too many people. And 2 children is...
I agree.
More and more young couples are restricting the size of their families. With another X, and Hazel, your turn.
Block, Betty.
Started by Ray Fuchs.
Paul Lynde, please.
The 16th Amendment has always been fairly unpopular from the time it was ratified in 1913, until this very day, in fact. What does it do, the 16th Amendment?
Free the slaves.
I disagree.
You disagree?
It's...
I don't blame you. No, it provides for the income tax, Paul. The income tax. For the next there, Hazel, your turn. Round with Hazel.
With Paul Lynde.
Tarzan was one of our earliest swingers. Hey, that's cute. I like the way that was written. Yes. Mm-hmm. Tarzan was one of our earliest swingers. Did he ever actually marry Jane?
Well, if he didn't, you know what that makes boy.
A free soul, Paul.
Yes, that's right, free soul.
But did
We
did
called it
Tarzan ever
something
marry
else
Jane?
when I was a kid. Yes, did Boy crash too on a plane? I don't know. I think they actually did get married.
Yes, they got married. Hazel?
I agree.
It was in the book The Return of Tarzan in 1915. Yes, they'll be celebrating their anniversary soon. Hey, happy anniversary, Tarzan, Jane. Ray? Turn to start this round, Ray.
Paul Lynde, please.
Paul, a nationwide survey of personnel directors was recently taken. And they were asked if they would hire a girl who showed up for an interview in a see-through blouse. What did most of them say?
Bring her in.
No, I'm looking for yes or no is what I'm looking for.
Well, if they wanted a lot of work done and he's a good businessman, I'm sure he said no.
I'll agree.
97% said no. Wonder who those 3% were. I don't know. What are their names? Paul Lynde recently stated, if there is anything helpful for other actors to be drawn from my experience, I think it is this. Don't try to fake what?
Anything.
But according to Paul, what is it? Anything?
Don't try. I think Paul would say, don't try to fake. I want to go for honesty because he's, you know, he's very honest in a lot of the things he says. So
Honesty.
Honesty.
I disagree.
That's just about it, Karen. We really can't accept that. But Paul said, don't try to fake youth. After reaching the after 30 group, you know, relax and live with it. Is that right, Paul?
Yeah. That's why I'm dressed like a kid.
Kelly Maxwell.
I'll take Paul Lynde.
True or false? Anne Margaret reached 30 this year.
Just when she inhales. Reached 30 this year. Let's see. I can figure that out because I did Bye Bye Birdie with her, and I knew how old she was then.
Take your time.
Yes, she would be.
I disagree.
Yes, true. Turnabout fair play with an X. Joe? Fidel Castro is often seen around Cuba with something Nikita Khrushchev gave him. What is it?
The heartbreak of psoriasis. It's a medal on his khakis that Khrushchev was the only decoration he ever wore on his.
A medal.
I agree.
A limousine. And Paul's good at this game. We can't put an X there, Joe. You'll have to earn that yourself.
I'll go to Paul Lynde.
For $750, Paul, police departments in some large cities are telling their officers not to do two particular things to a person's home. They're not supposed to lounge around or do one other thing. What is it?
Give change for 100.
They're not supposed to lounge around or do one other thing. What is that?
Not lounge around.
And what other thing?
And one other thing. I think they can no longer hold you without a formal arrest. They cannot ask to search you.
I'll disagree with
No,
that.
it's smoke.
Smoke.
$750 for Joe Brown.
Block.
Nancy Wilson to block. Paul Lynde. Paul Lynde once weighed more than 200 pounds. True or false?
Paul? I don't think so, no.
She said it's false.
I disagree.
It is true. Well, while he was studying at Northwestern University, and after that meal we had this evening, yes, you have a circle there. And Mike, it's your turn. Go right ahead. You really weighed over 200 pounds, eh,
Oh,
Paul?
shut up.
Say, right after Trigger died, Paul, right after Trigger died, what did Roy Rogers announce he would do?
Dismount. Right after Trigger died.
Yeah, Roy Rogers announced he would do something.
Was Champion before or after Trigger? Let's see.
I think that was Gene Autry.
Oh, Gene Autry. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Trigger's down at Apple Valley. Stuffed. He really
Stuffed.
is, yes.
He was going to have him stuffed.
I disagree.
Yes. Have the horse. I don't know with what, but that's it, yes. And we have a circle there, and Josie, your turn.
Paul Lynde.
President Nixon recently told Time magazine that he doesn't have something in the bedrooms of any of the places he lives. What doesn't he have in the bedroom?
Fun. He doesn't have any...
In any of the bedrooms, he doesn't have something in any of the bedrooms of the places he lives. What doesn't the president have?
Probably a TV set.
Television.
He doesn't have it in there?
He doesn't have any television in any of the bedrooms.
I'll agree with
You'll
Paul
buy
Lynde.
that? He's
Yes.
absolutely correct. Yes, for the circle. Michael. Cuban leader Castro often sends Yugoslavian President Tito a gift. What is it?
A cheap hand-painted tie.
They really love each other.
No, I would say that he would probably send him cigars.
True.
You will agree. Is that what you said, dear?
I agree.
Yes, those famous Havana cigars. With a circle. Good start, Arnold. Vertical lift, suspension, and truss are all kinds. Kinds of what?
Shorts. Vertical lift.
Suspension and truss are all kinds. Kinds of what?
Bridges.
Bridges.
I agree.
Bridges with a circle. And Arnold, the Soviet Union doesn't have something in its Navy that ours has had for decades. What?
Commander Glenn Ford.
But the Soviet Union doesn't have something in its Navy that ours has had for decades. What is
Captain
it?
Glenn Ford.
There's something in the...
The Russian Navy, we have something that the Russian Navy does not have.
Something that they don't. I will say that we have the wasps. No, what is? No, that isn't. What? The wasps. Wasps.
That is right.
Which is the women's.
I agree.
No, I tell you what, they also have ladies in the Navy over there too, Paul. Yes, aircraft carriers. They are reportedly building their very first one. And we have a break for Arnold there with the next, and your turn. Round with Arnold.
Paul Lynde.
According to Dear Abby, how does a respectable man keep from falling in love with his neighbor's wife?
By looking at his neighbor's gun collection.
That's one way, yeah.
How does a respectable man keep from...
Falling in love with his neighbor's wife. This is according to Dear Abby.
By keeping his eye on his own wife.
I agree.
We can accept that, yes, by keeping away, by keeping a respectable distance from her, staying with his wife and not looking around. Adeline?
Jen?
Paul Lynde. Before he retired, Paul, Frank Sinatra stated, I said it before and I'll say it again, blank is the greatest singer in the world. Who is it?
Vic Damone. Oh, just one word?
Yes, another word. Yeah, no, Vic Damone.
Okay.
I agree.
Tony Bennett. Put an X there. Arnold, look at that.
Paul Lynde.
Oh, is he your favorite?
Yes.
Yeah, it might be. The Guinness Book of World Records, Paul, tells us where the deepest man-made hole in the world is. What's it used for?
The $29.95 special at Forest Lawn.
It's the deepest man-made hole in the entire world. What is it used for? The well.
I would say maybe to store radioactive material.
Marion?
I agree.
No. It's a gas well. It's in Oklahoma, and it's over 30,000 feet deep. Put an X there. Greg, go ahead there.
Paul Lynde.
Oh, I would have gone to Susie Plachette the block. This may work out. Yeah. All righty. Who is Gerald Ford's own admitted hero?
Oh, Fred McMurray. Own admitted hero.
Gerald Ford's, his hero.
I would say,
obviously, Paul does not have a bluff with this, Marion. Would you like the question?
No, I like another one.
You'd like another one. I don't blame him. He's one of mine, too. Harry Truman. Yes, back to a Paul Lynde question here. True or false? The founder of the Girl Scouts of America was actually a man.
Oh, fortunately, he was arrested at a cookout. The founder of the Girl Scouts
was actually a man.
Well, I think they consider the, the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts practically the same. So I'll say true.
Marion?
I agree.
No. The founder of the Girl Scouts of America was named Juliet Lowe. Okay, with an X. Several ways to play this, Greg.
Paul Lynde.
Paul, first they're hand-picked. and bathed. Then they go to a pulping house and go through fermenting and washing tanks. Then they're hauled, peeled, and roasted. What are they?
Contestants.
They both agree. What is that? But first they're hand-picked and bathed. Then they go to a pulping house and go through fermenting and washing tanks. Then they're hauled, peeled, and roasted. What are they?
Peeled and roasted. I will say coffee beans.
Coffee beans.
I agree.
Coffee beans. Put a circle there. Greg?
I'll go with George Gomez.
Classic Hollywood Squares, weeknights at 8:30 Eastern. What are you laughing at?